What's up, guys? Matt Tozer here, Leads for Locals and the seven-figure annuity agent program. And in this video, I want to show you guys how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to build a really highly targeted list so that you can generate much higher quality annuity and IUL leads. This is a really good, kind of not even just a really good, kind of a must-have tool in your lead generation system. So for those of you who aren't familiar with it, I want to walk you through how to use it. It's pretty easy, and you get a 30-day free trial if you haven't used it before. So it's kind of a no-brainer just to give it a try. And it's $80 a month after that. And it's probably one of the best $80 you can invest in your business because it really allows you to get in front of high-quality decision makers who have the revenue and the assets to invest in annuities, IULs, things like that. So, and actually, my apologies, I'm jumping the gun here a little bit. Let's get right into the training. And this is pretty much how I use it for myself and my own marketing business to get more marketing clients, annuity agents, IULs, things like that. And it's also what I use also for my clients as well to generate leads for themselves. So if you don't already have it, you'll see a button up here where you can, usually it says like try premium. I don't think it's here anymore on this part, but anyways, you should have a little button up here to try premium. Go ahead and do that. And then you'll have a little sales nav button right there. Once you set up your account, it's pretty basic stuff. It'll take you to a screen like this. And this is where now there's a lot of different things that you can do, which, maybe we'll get into in another video. But for this video, I just want to show you how to build a really good list and then how you can just start reaching out to people. So we click on advanced search here. Search for leads is what we want. And this is where the real power of LinkedIn is this search right here. And now you can use a basic search on LinkedIn without Sales Navigator, but you're not going to get a lot of these options right here, which are invaluable to building a really highly targeted, high quality list of decision makers. So first thing we want to do is pick a niche. Guys, this is one of the things I stress to annuity and IUL agents all the time. And actually whenever I talk to a business owner, I mean, my specialty now is annuities and annuity agents and IUL, but really every business owner should be doing this. You have to pick a niche to go after. You got to stop trying to sell to everybody. You need to be the specialist, be the expert in that particular niche. And trust me, guys, there's plenty of business in a niche. Like the thing that I hear a lot of times is people don't want to pick a niche because they think they're missing out on business, and it's not true. So, and let me show you as an example. So let's say you decide that you want to be the annuity or IUL agent that helps restaurant owners. Okay. So that's what we're going to stick with. Keyword right here is what I always use a keyword when I build my list in my search. So I'm just going to type in restaurant owner and see what comes up. So basically what this is going to do is it's going to search for this keyword term inside everybody's profile that I select here based on this criteria. Okay, so you're getting in front of like 95% of the list should be restaurant owners. Of course, it's not perfect, but either way. And look at this. We've got 391,000 people. Do you think you could ever even talk to 391,000 people? Okay, now we're going to narrow this down, but my point is by picking a niche, we still have tons of people that we can go after. And it's so much better if you're reaching out to a specific niche and you say, hey, I specialize in, let's say, you could say, wealth building strategies or retirement strategies, whatever it is that your message is, specifically for restaurant owners versus just being a general annuity or IUL agent looking to, that you serve everybody. When they hear you say that you do it specifically for restaurant owners, that's immediately going to resonate with them. Okay. Because it's almost like you're speaking their language. You're relating to them at that point. They see you as the expert for their niche, right? So it's super powerful. Next thing that we can do, now this will depend on where you're licensed. Obviously, we want to pick geography. I always recommend being licensed in every state if you can, because it just opens up that many more people that you can reach. But let's say you're licensed in Texas, Florida, and I don't know, Georgia, whatever. I always recommend, like with the clients that I bring on, you have to be licensed in a minimum of 5 states, so we can build you it just a bigger. You could still get a list if you're a good sized list if you're only licensed in one state, but it just like to me it makes more sense to be licensed in multiple states. All right, I don't typically do industry because I'm typing in the keyword. You can really when I use industry as if it's like specifically that industry. But sometimes, like if we look at this, it's a little broad. So if we scroll down here, actually, you know what? In this case, I think there is an option for restaurants. Let me check. Restaurants. Yeah, here we go. Okay, cool. In this particular case, that worked. Wait. Oh, whoops. No, we don't want that. I don't know where that came from. Okay, but see how that narrowed down our list really good? And that's actually a good thing, guys, because that's getting us really, really targeted right now. Okay, so these are people that they've put in their profile that they are specifically in the restaurant industry. Okay. All right, so we scroll down. Now, in addition to targeting a specific niche, which is what we've done so far, we also want to make sure that we're getting in front of decision makers and people who are making a decent amount of revenue. Obviously, more assets that they're able to put into an IUL or annuity, the better. Okay. So what we want to do is right here is a title. First, we want to get decision makers. So we're going to do CEO or Chief Executive Officer. We want owner, founder, whatever decision maker title you can think of here is where is what you want to do. Let's see, owner. What else would there be? Principal maybe. Probably not for a restaurant, but you get the point, right? So let's see. So the next thing that we want, and actually there's probably more. There's no, I guess that's it for now. Whatever. Let's see. The next thing that we want to do though is we want people that are generating a decent amount of revenue. So how do we do that? We can't target specifically by revenue, but there are some things that we can do that would indicate that they probably do make a decent amount of revenue and have a decent amount of assets. And that's company size. Obviously, the bigger their restaurant is, the bigger their business is, the more revenue they're generating. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to hire all the employees, right? So if we come down here, we can now start to select a particular size of the company or particular size companies. Okay, this is probably a bit much, but I would say like and you could still do self-employed, but this is just an example, obviously, and it's something like if you're going after business owners or whatnot, this is a great way to narrow down my revenue. Another thing you can do is experience. So obviously, if someone has a decent amount of experience so far, they're pretty committed to their career. They're pretty committed to whatever it is that they're doing. So they're likely making a decent amount of money, right? So that's another great way to do it. Okay. And now you can see we don't have actually very many, like this isn't a very big list, but this is 1,500 people, very, very highly targeted that you could reach out to, do 50 a day and generate deals off of this, right? Generate real conversations. So, and if we get rid of industry, that actually bumps it up quite a bit. So, and it's still pretty targeted with restaurants. So let's actually search this. So make sure we got everything. Yep. So let's search. Okay, and we'll just scroll through this just to make sure that these are like actual decision makers in the restaurant industry. Like they don't necessarily have to be a restaurant owner specifically, but like this one, for example, Chief Executive Officer at Restaurant Hospitality Consulting Group. So that's not exactly a restaurant, but they're in the restaurant industry, right? So if you message them saying, "Hey, I noticed that you're also in the restaurant industry as well, so I thought it made sense for us to connect, see if maybe we could work together." Sign John, whatever, right? Chief Operations Officer at CC's Pizza. That's what it used to be. Williams Search Group, founder at whatever the heck that is, Hospitality, Russo's restaurant group. So it looks like a lot of consulting. So if we go back and, well, we don't have to go back, but let's see what happens when we add restaurants and see. Yeah, see, so this looks a little more targeted specifically to restaurant owners, right? But play around with this. It doesn't, you don't have to do like this doesn't obviously have to be the only list that you go after. Here's another thing really quick, and then we'll wrap this up because I don't want this to be too long. So this is one list, and what you can do is save the search for later. So restaurant owners, okay? And it'll actually update the list on a weekly basis there. So we hit check mark, boom, we have a saved list. If we go to save search, we can now pull this search up at any time, okay? So let's start, let me show you one more really quick that is just another option, right? So we'll do the same states. Let's get rid of this. And what you could do is, let's say we didn't want any of this. Let's say we just wanted to go after all restaurant owners, which you could do. This doesn't, just because someone's self-employed or doesn't have years and years of experience doesn't mean they're not doing well. So there's still people that you want to target, right? So let's get rid of that. And let's do groups. So this is another way that I will search sometime or create a list for clients sometimes, depending on the list size. But let's type in restaurants and see what happens. Because here's the thing is, if someone's part of a group on LinkedIn, and assuming that they're at least somewhat active in it, they've actively taken an interest, in their industry. Like you don't join a group unless you're interested in learning more about your craft and connecting with others, networking and things like that. So these are people that are pretty serious about their business normally. So here's one: restaurant network, restaurant managers. You could do managers. Managers need annuities and IULs as well. Restaurant trends, restaurant manager, owners and managers, chain executives, the restaurant network. I mean, you just add all these groups. Okay. And look, I mean, there's a ton of them, right? And what we could do here too is, to me, a decision maker in this case could also be a manager. So we could add that manager at restaurants. Doesn't really do much for our list, but you get the point, guys. In this video, I just wanted to show you the different ways to use the search criteria, because this stuff is really, really powerful. So go ahead and I highly recommend getting Sales Navigator if you don't have it already, but start building out your lists and start reaching out to people this way, guys. Pick a niche, build a list around that niche of who you're going for, and then speak specifically to that niche. Another thing too, as we close, make sure your profile is built around that niche too. Like, wealth building specialist or expert specifically for the restaurant industry or whatever it is, right? That's something that we can talk about if you're interested in maybe having all of this done for you. Feel free to reach out to me. I have a button or a link somewhere. You can get more information on that. But go ahead and start with this, guys. This is a super powerful way to get in front of your ideal client and a great way to start reaching out to people. So I hope that helps. Give me a thumbs up, like it, like the post if you wouldn't mind. If this was helpful, leave a comment below if you have any questions. And again, feel free to reach out to me. Click the link below. If you want more information on generating annuity and IUL leads, or you want this done for you, right? Whatever it is. But I hope this was valuable, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Take care.